voice behind it. But she just didn't look like you wanted her to
One
look.
uncredited vocals on the chorus.
Which is just so crazy.
Yeah, another fun-filled moment
What's
here.
happening with like Lizzo? You don't think that would have happened?
Want to listen a little bit of Joe Rogan while I take care of
If
this
you just tried it.
chore. Basically, I've got to get the sign off from Bobby's stuff over to
What did you learn?
Alondra. And so what I'm going to do is I make myself a little email here.
All my teachers thought I was just terrible.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to
Athletes have to be very careful about how they treat their bodies. Something
sign
everyone
offs
wants to
put
do
together.
eventually, right? So it's no surprise that they're very particular about what they eat and drink. It's no surprise that a lot of pro athletes rely on AG1 to help
And,
them stay at peak performance. Just
write here a little note
AG1 is more than a drink. It combines
for
a
the float.
multivitamin, multi-mineral blend of superfoods and more into one simple
ED
food.
Jacksonville,
And it's
304-963,
certified for sport,
site
which,
pictures.
if you don't know what that is, it basically means
Think
put
about
through
that for a
tons of
second.
testing for over 280
See some of the
banned
behind-the-scenes
substances.
stuff
And
going
trust
on there.
me, you don't want any of that stuff in your body. And it really is as simple.
Bet
as
you're
one
wondering how I
scoop,
make my
one
fingers go
scoop.
this
You had a bunch of,
fast.
like, famous actor
Takes years and
friends
years
go
of
to
practice.
famous actor parties, and he'd take
But if
acting
you slow it down or
classes
stop,
for
you can
crap.
actually see what
I
I'm
love
doing.
that. Working on my craft. By the way,
But he was
that's such
bullshitting.
bullshit.
He was
Great
like,
fun.
He was aware.
Yeah,
he was
yeah, yeah.
fucking
Especially
aware.
for
Like,
Saturday
when
afternoon.
I say working on my craft, he wasn't being serious. He was completely joking.
Yeah, he's very.
So he
yeah.
had this teacher.
I like
that was- I think
listening
it
to
was
Joe.
the Scientology hustle too. It was one of those things.
You kinda-
there was a lot of that.
You do this
particularly in
work
the
while you
90s.
listen to that
Yeah.
stuff.
Teachers were
Doesn't take
Scientologists.
much.
But
Yeah.
insert, by the way, it's not to pick on Scientology. Insert whatever religion. There was a lot of.
No, probably ought to have a
Scientologists in
different
Hollywood, though.
camera going on right now.
Because they would get people to join the
Have
acting
a
class, and they would
different
try to
video
recruit
going on.
Scientology, because the teacher was a Scientologist.
That way you can
He
see
talked
what
about
No one
how
tried.
I'm seeing.
important it was. You never
to
tried
be in Scientology.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll play with it
Or work
again
for his craft
and
or-
see.
Meanwhile, they're never successful. The people that teach
Then I can do a
acting
picture in a
classes, they're
picture,
always
probably.
terrible.
Yeah.
They never go anywhere. Like
Probably
maybe
what
they
I
have like
could
a
do.
small part on one thing, and then they're gonna tell you how to make it.
You
Like,
never
you
do
don't
that.
even
See all those
apply it to
pictures?
your
It's
own
like
life.
when I was a teacher, I didn't think I'd ever be. Yeah.
Not to say there's not good acting teachers out there. I'm sure.
Yeah,
there
so
are.
what I got to do is I've got
They
to
love theater,
put a
they
link
love,
of
like,
pictures
background
in,
act, they have
and
no
I've
desire
got to
for
give
things,
her
they
a
love the
sign
craft,
off.
They love the art of it. That's true too.
And then I was looking at this the other day. This,
He was really into
copied the
show
sign off
tunes.
wrong, so
And he would do a
get
big
the right
show.
one.
At, the end of the class or whatever.
Yeah.
In the
That'll do
quarter,
it, right
whatever
there.
it was. He had this big show.
You're
at
good
this
to go.
local theater, and Brian's like, "You have to come.
Make sure the link's
and
right
watch
for
a
the
guy with the tiniest feet you've ever seen in your life." He had these little.
For the
I couldn't
pictures.
Take my eyes off his feet because he had loafers on, and they were
I
like.
always
that.
don't want.
And this guy.
See,
would
there's
sing,
all these
like,
pictures
so
are right here.
passionately.
That one right there
These
is not right.
Show tunes.
You got to get rid of that one.
From like musicals, like there's no context. You
Okay.
You didn't
It was
see
like
the musical.
like a medley, like a,
A
review.
medley of show
I
tunes.
love that. Sounds like a great show. Wait, you came there to see his feet? That was like
Time
why
sheet.
you
No,
were-
Brian, but
Rid of
Brian was
that.
really fascinated by how small his
to
feet
just
were.
come see
And then I
his
couldn't
feet.
stop because we were
Yeah.
high, so I couldn't stop
That's
looking at
not
his
that
feet.
small. That.
No, they were.
Yeah, I was noticing there was a little bit of difference between the two log sheets
I
for the
dated
week.
this girl once, and she was like, "I have a shoe
I was
show."
giving up a little bit too many
And I'm like,
miles,
"Oh,
I
shoe
think.
show. Okay.
A shoe model?
So I had to
Yeah,
straighten
like
that
a
out.
Foot model.
Like she would model.
See, this is
Okay, like
But-
open-toed shoes.
I
The
just-
Jacksonville
I didn't
first
know.
store they
That's
went
what she would
to.
say. She was going to do this, and she always had like dollar bills. She always had cash, you know.
And
I found out years later she was a stripper. Shoe show.
that was Dane's store.
And I just
And then
she was a shoe.
this one
Oh,
right
by the
here
way, here's another.
I thought it was going another direction.
was the second store they went to,
Guys
which
were
wasn't.
trying to jerk off to her
I
feet.
It was the
Maybe.
Qualser
She had great feet.
store.
But another stoop. This was even the dumber class.
So-
than the moving around class was called interpretation. for
That's a
the
funny
actor.
bit there.
So this you would read a play like
He's a funny guy.
Desire,
I saw him
and
on
you come in
Netflix
and you
last
do
night.
Interpretation of it. So the weirder you were, the better grade you got. Okay.
Oh, boy.
So anyway, I'm going to adjust these two right here.
And
Reprint
he
them out.
There was a big mirror, you know, because also a dance room, and he took a lipstick and he wrote "whore" within lipstick. This is, if you know what
so
street
deep.
cardio is, yeah.
So
Then he pulled
deep.
his pants down.
I'm going to record times at like 4 minutes and 30
and he turned
seconds.
to us,
So that's cool.
"Fuck you."
And that's all she wrote.